The suicide of Judas. When Judas, his betrayer, saw that Jesus was condemned, he repented and brought back the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and the elders. He said, "I have sinned by betraying innocent blood." But they said, "What is that to us? See to it yourself." Throwing down the pieces of silver in the temple, he departed, and he went and hanged himself. But the chief priests, taking the pieces of silver, said, "It's not lawful to put them into the treasury, since they're blood money." After conferring together, they used them to buy the potter's field as a place to bury foreigners. For this reason, that field has been called the field of blood to this day. Then was fulfilled what has been spoken through the prophet Jeremiah. And they took the 30 pieces of silver, the price of the one on whom a price had been set, on whom some of the people of Israel had set a price, and they gave them for the potter's field, as the Lord commanded me. Here are my thoughts. These verses remind me of the question, what good does it do a man to gain the world and lose his soul? For a temporal, worldly reward of money, he lost his value to himself and took his own life. Judas gained some wealth and still felt bad that he betrayed Jesus. A disproportionate gain loss of the worst kind, I'd say. Judas felt alienated from God. He did not know how to turn back to him. He did not know God's forgiveness. After such a heinous betrayal, he was unable to see life on earth, let alone life after death. Judas self-denied his opportunity to ask for forgiveness. When confronted with the opportunity to ask for forgiveness from God, he forsook the opportunity and sought to reconcile his sin with man, but he was rejected. The chief priests did not and could not forgive him. They used him and then found him worthless, useless, and spineless, throwing his return coins to the floor. What did Judas think they were going to do? Judas was like a groupie who allowed his life to devolve into a world of material reward and not heavenly reward. He sold out and lost his self-respect and respect of his fellow disciples. I can't imagine how he felt. I wondered, did Judas always gain more from followership until he discovered he gained nothing when his loss of faith was exposed? What does following man instead of God leave you? Did Judas lose faith, or did he ever have it? The chief priest remained of the material world and reclaimed the coins for their value and used them to glorify themselves in some ways. The priests repurposed the blood money to look charitable. They made Judas look like a chump. We often can ask, what would Jesus do? But I ask, what would you do if you were Judas, or even just yourself, and you made an ultimate betrayal? We speak about throwing people under the bus. So what does that say about us? Are we immune from the temptation of betrayal? If we get a raise or close a big deal, looking the other way when we're played by the powerful, or do we let someone suffer so we're not persecuted by toxic powers in our families or in the workplace? These are things to think about.